Hello and welcome to another episode of our Speakeasy podcast. As always,
I'm Ken, guys.
and I'm John, guys.
What is up?
What's happening? Nice to see you.
Yeah, dude. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Yes, we have some interesting topics coming up today, guys.
Yeah. But before we start off, it's opening day, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yankees.
And it's a decent day for it. We got some
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a little chilly, a little windy.
Yeah, we're recording a couple days ahead of time, just so you're not confused and thinking Tuesday's opening day.
Nope.
But yeah.
But they're up 2-1 right now, and I believe
Yep.
it's like the sixth inning. I'll be paying attention as we go along here.
Oh, great.
And let's go, baby. I'm excited. It's baseball
Let's go.
season, baby.
I know. Was there big moves in baseball recently at all? Or
Well, over the, we have a few new players.
yeah, I'm not a big baseball fan, people. So
Our big player from last year, Juan Soto, he's gone. He's playing for the Mets now. That's a big controversy.
Yeah.
Not controversy, but there's some bitterness there.
Yeah, I'm
us
sure,
Yankee
of course.
fans,
Well, it's New York to New York, yeah.
So we gave up a lot to get him.
I mean,
Cam,
it's like
he went to the World
Saquon.
Series
For
and
me, I
what?
look at it like football. It's like Saquon going to the Eagles, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this guy left for the money. They offered him everything, and
Well, that's what you get.
and he took it. So
And speaking of football, real quick, I saw, what's his name, going to the Giants?
Russ Wilson, huh?
Russell Wilson, yeah.
So they signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
Okay.
And they're most likely talking about drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to draft a rookie, it looks like. That's the game plan, at least.
If there's one there. If those top two don't go, I don't think there's going to be anybody left at 3.
Is that normal to say your game plan, ahead of time? Usually, isn't that supposed to be kind of like secret hush-hush? Because it's like showing, when you're playing chess, you're showing your move. You're saying, this is what I'm going to do next. So that another team might be like, all right, well, we know they're going to select a quarterback, so we're going to do this, and we're going to do, they can strategize ahead of time.
I don't think for the first few picks, because the first few picks, like, from what I hear, the Tennessee Titans weren't going to draft a quarterback,
Yeah.
right? So they're 1.
Yeah.
Then you got 2 and 3. So if the Giants say we're going to draft a quarterback, Tennessee
Yeah.
doesn't need a quarterback. They're not going to turn around and be like, well, we're going to take him anyway just to block you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
I guess. And then the Jets, well, they'll be horrible again.
The
next
Jets,
year.
the Jets, they might as well draft me. But yeah, and we have March Madness going on right now.
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't do brackets this year.
No.
And that's okay.
No, we had discussed a couple things, too, that I just realized we didn't
Yeah,
do either.
that's all right. But it's been exciting. But
Yeah.
you know what? Because of this new, about the portal and stuff in college sports and stuff, and they're like they can just get up and go wherever they want, and they get paid.
Okay.
So if you play for a school one year and you want to enter the portal to maybe play for another school to
Yeah.
get picked, and now with that happening, like the 1s, 2s, the 3s, they're all stacked, man.
Yeah.
You're not going to see many Cinderella stories anymore.
Yeah. That's kind of sad.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It takes away from the fun.
It does.
I haven't had many people. Back in the day, there was always someone. Oh yeah, you want to do a March Madness pool? You want to do it? Nowadays, I
don't know one person.
No,
that
I
did
don't.
it. Not one.
You have to do it online or something or whatever. And I find like when you gamble with, I've done some private pools for like I did. I think it was fantasy football one time. In like a private pool, random.
Yeah.
It was like one of those websites or something.
Yeah.
And the payout is not great
No,
because the people running it or whatever the company is running it, they take a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
So
There was one year where I did it like weekly, where
Yeah.
every week you pick your fantasy football team, and we can have like the same quarterback. Like it didn't matter, but and you win like $5.
yeah, you're better off doing it with friends and doing your thing.
100%.
So back to baseball. Yeah, Yankees opening day.
They Mets too.
Yeah, should be exciting.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
cool.
baseball season, man. To me, baseball season means spring, warm weather right around the corner.
Yeah, are you going to some games? You think this year?
Yeah, I got games for Friday, May 2nd. I'm taking my kids.
Cool.
It's Jazz Chisholm basketball jersey night.
All right.
Even though it's a baseball game, they're giving away a basketball jersey with pinstripes and his name on it.
Chaz Jism.
Jazz Chisholm.
Oh.
Jazz Chisholm. Jazz.
right.
Yeah, we didn't even drink yet.
Yeah,
Jazz
how much
Chisholm.
I know. Yeah.
That's my daughter's favorite player.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got tickets to that game. And there'll be many more. There'll be many more.
All right. I'm just making sure his last name is not Chisholm.
No, it's Chisholm.
Chisholm. Okay.
His first name is Jazz Chisholm.
We don't want anyone wearing a jersey that says Jism on the back.
No. And you know how many announcers on the radio and TV mix that up all the time, man. It's like the funniest thing.
That's horrible.
Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm. Poor guy. All right. So we're doing something fun today, bourbon-wise. This is this. I was excited to see this one in the store. I literally a day before I found it in the store. I saw someone post, "Oh, this store has," and it wasn't the store I went to. They're like, "This store has the new bottle and bond from Bulleit," and I was like, "Oh, okay. What's this? What's this about?" I'm learning about it. I went to a Bottle King near us here in Jersey, and I saw that. I read the description of it, and I was like, "Ooh," which they stole directly from Breaking Bourbon. I noticed because we were just looking at the description before this, and I was like, "Yeah, totally from Breaking Bourbon, exact same description." And I was really stoked, really hyped to try this one. Some interesting things. Can you point out, John, while I pour these out? You want to pick your glass or what?
Sure. I'll go with the George T.
The George T. And I will do my namesake here that you gave me. And so this was originally what Bulleit was sourced in.
It said it was sourced from Four Roses Distillery.
Yeah.
Originally. They were sourcing what? Their mash bill?
So when Diageo, I think, purchased it.
And that's not like a little Mexican guy who came over the border. That's a company.
Yeah. If it's same Diageo, when I used to sell beer, they did like Guinness and stuff like that too.
Okay.
If I'm and they import stuff and they but yeah, I guess they were sourcing their stuff from Four Roses for the first whatever.
Which was news to us.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess I didn't. I don't know. I may have heard it in passing at some point,
right.
But I was never like Bulleit was one of those go-to for me is like an old-fashioned, like a Bulleit Rye or something like that.
Right, because it's not high on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I never had a complaint about it though. Even when we went to the Bulleit distillery and everything, I mean, it was cool.
Was that right?
Yeah, I thought they had some good cocktails and stuff. But this is exciting, and this is bottled and bond. And the cool thing about it is, typically with bottle and bond, it has to be at least 4 years old. This one in particular, they actually waited, and they said, you know what? We want to put out something that is, I think this was 7 years old, right?
Yeah, the 2017 distillation process.
Yeah.
Start of, yeah.
From the app, exactly. It says it right there. Very special bottling. Well, I guess that's why it's special, because it just, this was the first time that they distilled something straight from their actual distillery, from Bulleit itself. So this did not come from Four Roses. This is their juice that they created and made and didn't,
So
source.
2017. So as long as Bulleit's been around, 2017 was the first time they really put anything out of that where we were.
Yeah.
Although we missed the tour, so I don't remember. I don't know what they did there. If it was just the Rick House or what. So maybe we missed this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because this wasn't. I don't know. So it's exciting to try this one, and there's, like I said, there's a little bit of hype behind it and everything, and it's when we're reading on all the information on it and stuff and everything, it was pretty cool to try. I think we're really hyped to try this out. Gosh, I'm stuttering my words right now.
Yeah. And obviously, like you said, it's 100 proof.
Yeah. Bottle and bond, 100
bottle
proof.
and bond.
Yep.
Sorry.
Let's get this nose. Let's see, man. I want to dive into this. The anxiety's killing me. I'm stuttering.
You got to do it with your mouth first, right?
Oh yeah, we tried that.
We have to blow the. Dude, that works, man, because you freaking taste it.
Oh wow. I'm getting some interesting notes. Some nice brown sugar.
Definitely sweet.
Yeah.
Caramel, vanilla.
It's oaky.
It is oaky. Yeah, it's got like that brown sugar.
Yeah.
What's that stuff we used to use when we were making like stuff?
Like molasses?
Molasses.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's try this. Cheers.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like that.
It's got a nice mouthfeel.
It's got a very nice mouthfeel. That tastes dandy. It's sweet.
Mm-hmm. Hint of cinnamon, maybe?
Definitely. Like a cinnamon vanilla.
Yeah.
Like frosting. You know what I mean? Like a Cinnabon type of.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
Nutty, a little nutty.
It's not boozy at all. Like there's no burn. There's no burn at all.
I'm getting a nice hug on this though. I'm getting it right here.
Are you?
Yes,
I'm not
I
getting
am.
anything here.
Full disclosure, I've been a little bit out of it lately. I was telling John knew I was battling cold or allergies or something. I don't know what it was, but for some time, and my palate might be slightly off, but I can taste, which is most important thing. But
the finish on that,
I'm getting that nuts, dude. I'm getting nuts, and I'm getting that oak.
you are nuts.
I am nuts.
Yeah, definitely that like charred oak from the barrel.
Yeah.
I'm getting that rye.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of rye spice in there. The sweetness from that rye.
Yeah, because this is a high. Did we mention it? This is a
No,
high rye,
it's a high rye bourbon.
and we had a high rye a couple episodes ago
Yeah.
with the bakers.
No, this is great, man.
Yeah.
I'm digging this.
Okay.
Definitely nutty. Definitely a good mouthfeel. Definitely a good linger in the mouth. Like I said, I'm not getting that hug, but it sits here.
Yeah.
Which it's sitting on in the throat, which I love, man.
What kind of nut do you like? I'm getting like, is it like a
like-
cashew or a walnut
It's like
or
a walnut.
Yeah.
Like walnutty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know when you crack open a fresh walnut out of the
Yeah.
the shell?
Yeah. I don't.
It tastes so much different than when it's
Yeah.
out of a bag, and that's
Yeah.
what it tastes like. It's got that waxy
I don't.
feeling.
Yeah, I don't do too many
You know?
walnuts, but
See, I'm Italian. I grew up with
Yeah.
that. You know, all the
Italian
Easter
walnuts.
and
Yeah.
the-
Yeah. You know, I have an Italian walnut tree in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got the little green balls that roll down my hill all damn time.
Oh, you gotta get those, man.
Yeah.
But you know, after Thanksgiving dinner, you got the bag of nuts from the store, and you gotta sit there and you gotta.
Yeah. It's like pistachios. It's like when they invented pistachios that were shellless, I was like, it went from eating one every 3 minutes because it took me forever to crack some of the. Actually, I became a pro at it. Now I'm like taking a handful of them and dumping them in my mouth. But
A little water in your mouth.
yeah,
Man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
be honest with me.
Can I be honest?
I want you to be honest.
I'm surprised. I didn't have high hopes for this.
Yeah.
Like I said, Bulleit wasn't always one of my favorite bourbons. It's a mixer to me. It's not something I would sip and drink.
Yeah.
But this I would sip and drink all day. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like it a lot.
And price point, I think it was maybe 48 or something
that's
like
great.
that. Yeah, not too bad. I don't know how, because it's new and it just hit shelves. I don't know how hard it's going to be.
Yeah.
But I'll have to tell you, I feel like there definitely was probably a lot of pressure for these guys to
put
put
out
something that is, because it's a big name,
Yeah.
and I think there definitely had to be a lot of pressure.
And Bulleit, their label's always crooked, right? That's like their
Yeah,
thing?
that's their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So I got to look at some old other Bulleit and just to confirm, but it's still bottled in Bardstown, but it's in Shelbyville, Kentucky, which is where we were, where the distillery is. I think, right?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in.
We weren't in Bardstown.
Yeah, we weren't in Bardstown or any of that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm trying to peek over, see if I have any other Bulleit bottles over there, but I don't think I do.
Yeah.
I may have finished them. But yeah.
Well, good job, Bulleit.
Yeah, I like this one.
I like
think
this one a lot.
think your first effort doing not sourcing that stuff, you did well. You did well. Good notes.
Good job
everything.
over there with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bulleit, right? It's always a cowboy. It's like the Bulleit Frontier whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a cool bottle too. It's like it's
Yeah,
got
it's a
that
good bottle.
old school kind of
It does.
feel. It's got that, like
No stupid orange or green label.
yeah, it's
Nice
like
brown.
like I would find this like tucked between like my grandfather's couch cushion or something like that, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It just has one of those looks. It's I don't know. My grandfather didn't drink, but still.
If he did, it'd be this.
It'd be this. It'd
in
be
the couch
Bulleit.
cushion.
And he'd wear his cowboy hat and his cowboy boots while he drank it.
And
Yes.
chaps, assless chaps.
And neither of my grandparents drank, actually. Grandfathers.
Good
but-
stuff. Thanks a lot for bringing
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it. Cheers,
Yeah.
Bulleit. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So today, so Jersey's been interesting lately. There's a lot been going on in Jersey.
Jersey's when is Jersey not interesting?
I know.
There's
It's
always something
there's always
happening.
something. Yeah, there's always some crazy thing between drones, which, by the way, are still out and about.
Yeah, I don't really see anymore.
By
Or I
me-
just stopped looking.
Was it the last time you left here?
I did. I was like, "There's no drones anymore," and you're like, "Look up."
I'm like, look up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted like
Yeah.
10 when you're out there.
Yeah,
No lie.
strange.
And like they're not planes because when a plane passes by, you can hear the freaking thing going right by you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like pure silence outside, and you just see these things hovering around.
So weird.
But what else? So recently, we've been having issues on our highways, like what with Route 80 or with sinkholes.
Earth's caving in.
Yeah, there was a ton of mining in New Jersey, like a ton of mining way back in the day. Even here in Chester, there was. I've come across like mining logs and things like that where they did mining out here.
We're not far from the popular Sterling mines, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then even where John and I, and John still lives, grew up, back in the 80s.
We had like that big sinkhole of 1987 or something, and somebody's backyard just collapsed and went into the ground. Yeah,
I remember that. And so even when we grew up in North Arlington, it was very.
Yeah, we have a lot of mines there in North Arlington. Yeah.
Yep.
The copper mines.
So it's almost they didn't have the technology we have now. They didn't know this was going to happen in the future. Things weren't secured the correct way. I think there's a proper way of securing these mines or filling these mines so that you won't have issues like this in the future. But unfortunately, we're kind of learning the hard way. And they built a highway over an area that has the mines.
Yeah, Route 80 by Wharton, which is a little down further from where I get off to get here.
Yeah.
But the whole road like caved in.
Yeah.
Right? Causing traffic and delays and nightmares.
Was it tough
everywhere.
getting here today? Because you probably would have taken some of those.
No, I didn't hit much today. 287 as well. The sinkhole in 287.
Yeah.
Up north. Craziness.
It's weird that it's just happening now because like this
and
is
at the same time.
Two totally different highways. It must have something to do with the weather, the temperature, the expanding, contract. I don't know. Why now?
I don't know.
You know what it could be? I wonder if the earthquake had anything. We had an earthquake not too long ago.
Yep, and there was another one about a week ago.
I saw. Yeah,
it was like 1.7, nothing crazy, but
I saw people on my Ring app saying, "Did you feel that?"
Yeah,
this is like, and that was like a few days ago.
I mean, even the big one we had, 6-7 months ago, whatever that was.
Yeah,
in the summer. I mean, that could have shook some stuff and loosened some stuff up. Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think. Yeah. Why now?
And Route 80 goes from New Jersey all the way to California. It's a busy highway. It's not your average little highway. There's a lot of cars,
a lot of heavy cars, trucks, tractor trailers, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's
putting a lot of pressure on that area and stuff. So
that's scary, man. You imagine driving and it just caves in.
Yeah, it is scary. It is scary.
And then you look down and you see the devil waving up at you. Come on, the party's down here. Come on. Or China. Maybe you see China. I don't know. You see the Chinese. What'll happen? But remember that as a kid? If you dig so much, you're going to go to China.
Well, I remember from Super Fuzz.
So stupid. Yeah, he ended up in China.
He went through the earth. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I don't think that could happen, though, because... I don't know. Have you ever watched like Journey to the Center of the Earth or something like that?
No.
Yeah, there's some interesting things out there.
Melt and die.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
It's scary, dude.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out more.
You feel bad for like people it's happening to on local roads or in their homes, like in their backyards, because there's that's gonna take forever to clean up.
Yeah.
The state called a state of emergency, and they're trying to fix it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But nightmare, man.
Yeah, it is.
Be careful out there, folks.
Yeah, be careful. Don't drive on New Jersey highways right now. And it'd be pretty cool though to like go see some of these mines there or something, and just like there's got to be an entrance to all these places somewhere.
Well, like
right?
I said, the Sterling mines. I mean, that's like a museum. You can go under there and check it out.
I know. I saw
some
like
to go into
video.
There.
I think my wife had sent me some video. They were talking about.
Yeah, it'd be a cool
stuff.
spot.
Yeah, yeah, it would be. It would be. Yeah. So weird New Jersey.
Weird New Jersey.
Remember we had that weird New Jersey episode? We were talking all the weird things.
Yeah.
In New Jersey. Yeah.
Now we got to add sinkholes to it.
Yeah, sinkholes. Yeah, we can go on for hours.
Drones and sinkhole.
Yeah, yeah. What else is in the news recently?
Oh, a lot of things, man. A lot of things. A lot of bullying. A lot of bullying going around. A lot of crazy things happening in schools. I'm jealous. I wish schools were like this when I was in school.
Yeah.
We had a. Where was this?
What?
What we're going to talk about?
Oh, the teacher?
Yeah.
I don't know where it was. I just thought you were going into a different topic or something.
Were we?
Yeah. No. It was. That's a topic for another episode. But yeah.
Oh, all right. Where are you going?
The teacher with the students.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that's what I was getting.
Oh, that's
into.
not bullying necessarily, but
Well, no, it's not bullying, but yeah,
I'm taking the lead for now.
yeah. You go ahead.
Recently on the news, we saw it was a teacher. I mean, she was maybe a 5 on the
Yeah.
look scale.
Well, when you're 14 or 15 too, 16,
4.5.
like it raises the level up.
Voluptuous-ish.
Yeah.
And besides the point. I mean, I guess you're kind of trying to see the appeal there, I guess.
Yeah.
She did she had a nice little party with some students, huh?
She did, yeah. She handed them all scream masks.
Yes.
And she said, "Do me, baby. Do me, baby."
Choo choo.
Wow, man. So she had like a little gangbang with her
Yeah.
school students.
Yes.
That's and it's happening more and more. You hear it all the time now.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with these women that they want to go after young boys? And why didn't that happen to us when we were?
It's interesting because John and I obviously talked a little bit about this prior, and we were like, in high school, and there were some teachers that were.
There were a few
I'm not going to say
I would have said, okay.
I'm not going to say any names.
No. But there were a few.
Yeah.
Even at that age, man, they could be 80. And I would have been like, yeah, you want me? All right, let's go.
I don't know about 80, but yeah.
But yeah, there were a few.
Because a lot of teachers, a lot of times, they get out of high school, go to college. How old are you when you get out of college and say they get your teaching degree?
23, 24.
Yes. Yeah. And you have kids that are in high school that are 18. You get, you're not talking
a big difference.
Even though these kids weren't 18, I don't think, because that was the big issue. Maybe, but there's not a huge age gap. You've got a bunch of testosterone-filled teenager boys that are, all they want to do is, that's all they think about all day.
Zoom, zoom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
I mean, that's all that's on their mind. I can't speak.
How does that conversation start, though? Hey, teach. I feel like that's automatic.
I think it's just flirtation. It starts out with, and still a lot. You remember back in school, there was teachers that were just a little extra friendly at times, or students that kind of like to push the barrier or push things a little bit further, to see to test the limits, I guess, on a teacher. Like, how far would she go if I say something like this? Maybe what started out as a little flirtation, and it could have been just who knows? It could have been 2 students, and it blew up into, she said, "Oh, why don't you tell your friends?" Whatever.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I can relate a little bit. In second grade, I had the hugest crush at second grade. Hugest crush on my teacher. Me and my buddy. We would go home at lunchtime and make sure our hair was good, cologne. She had the sexiest legs, and I remember this so much. She had the sexiest legs. They were long, and the things I would in second grade, the things I would have done.
Yeah.
Which isn't much in second grade, but
yeah.
But yeah, and then she became so friendly with her. I even went to her ceremony, her wedding at Queen of Peace.
Yeah.
And man, I had the hugest crush on her.
Did you send death threats to her new husband or anything? Or?
No.
She's mine. She's mine.
I was very jealous.
Yeah.
But so even then, I was into it.
Did she change her last name or no?
She did.
Isn't that? I had teachers like that. Yeah, and you're like, oh.
It's not the same anymore.
No. I had a teacher in second grade. Same thing. Got married, and we had to start. I remember her original last name, but I don't think I forgot what we ended up calling her after that.
I remember both her names. I don't want to say it, but
yeah. Yes.
And then even in high school, we had a younger teacher. I won't say any names as well, and cute.
Yeah.
Compared to what else was there. I mean, I don't know if she was really cute or she was cute compared.
Was she a new teacher?
Newer when I was junior year.
Because I wonder if the one teacher that came was after you. Let's just say she was named after a season, the last name. But I
maybe after me.
Yeah.
I can't think of any.
Yeah.
But the one I had was I remember Halloween. She came dressed as Snow White.
Yeah.
and like you could see through a little skirt a little bit, and you could see the underwear underneath, and I was like, boom, boing.
That's what your desk was for, to hide that.
Yeah. But like, why couldn't shit happen like then? Like, hey, nice skirt. Oh yeah. You wanna go in the parking lot?
Yeah. So this leads to a different discussion, though, kind of, and see, it was a difference where it was a male teacher and he was messing around with a bunch of girls.
I think 100% it'd be different.
Yes. But why is it?
There'd be more scrutiny.
Yeah.
There'd be more call for his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, these kids who were involved, like their dad might be like, he would have started playing Van Halen. What's that song?
I've always said it, man. I have girls. If I had boys and I caught my son with a woman when I got home, or another girl, and she was doing things to him, I'd be like, yeah, my boy. I come home and my daughter's doing that to some boy.
Yeah.
I'm beating the shit out of her, him, anybody else.
I know. Imagine.
There's different standards.
Yes. If there was a if I don't have a daughter, but if I had a daughter and there was a teacher, and when she was in high school, that was
dead.
Yes, exactly.
Dead.
Exactly. And I guess it's kind of a dominance thing. I think it's because a girl is not necessarily able to protect themselves the same way, or I hate to say it because I don't want this to sound sexist or the wrong way, but they could be more vulnerable.
It's
maybe
the way it is. I mean, you think sometimes girls can't, especially younger girls, can't either defend themselves or they are.
You don't want to seem easily manipulated or anything because it's you're
not easier manipulated. Yeah, but I think they're more scared.
Yeah,
when there's a man,
yes,
forcing themselves,
and it'd be kind of the opposite where the man has to take charge of that situation,
right?
As opposed to in this case, all the boys were chewing it, and
that's a story. That's great,
Yeah. They're probably giving each other high fives.
Hell yeah.
Like that, yeah.
Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower. But, yeah.
But you're right. And I don't know if like the outcome would be different because I mean sexual assault, you know what I mean? That it's all the same law.
Yeah.
So they should get tried the same.
They should.
But in society, the way people see it, like me, I read that and I'm like, fucking guys are lucky, man. That's awesome. And then if it was a guy, like you said, with a girl, I'd be like, no, that prick should die. Mm-hmm. I read another teacher, I forgot where, same thing, had sexual relations with a student.
Yeah.
And then it came to be found that another teacher in the same school had sexual relations with the same kid. So he was banging two teachers. One was young, but one was old.
All right.
And it's craziness.
In our
man.
Town?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not even another state somewhere.
Okay.
And when I was looking up like this, reading about this one, this came up. And it's just, you're starting to hear it more and more and more.
Yeah.
And I also think it's kids now are more mature at their age than like when we were young,
Yeah. But it's interesting too. Like, say some of these kids were 18, and
18, God bless them.
And then some of them, so it was a group of them, and some of them were 17 or 16.
I thought they were like 16, 17.
But isn't it something else that they could be like a couple months apart, and it's just totally different?
Or 16 is okay with consent.
Yeah.
Where 15 is not.
Yeah.
16, they're old enough to say, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah. It wasn't uncommon in high school for someone to be 18 and have a 16-year-old girlfriend or 17-year-old girlfriend.
Absolutely.
It was not uncommon at all. It was a senior dating a sophomore or something like that.
Right.
Sometimes.
Right.
So is that a different? I mean, that's obviously a different standard
like
too.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I just think the kids now they're filled with shit from the internet.
Yeah.
Where we didn't have that back then. We were looking through the squiggly lines on our parents' TV when they left.
Or the
where these kids have the hub like on speed dial on the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go on YouTube and figure this stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were in health class as a kid, and they showed the female reproductive system, and we were like,
Yeah.
It's different.
It is different. It is totally different. But it's
I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah, I know, and it's such an interesting situation. I mean, I don't know the whole situation necessarily, but is it? Do we assume she manipulated them? Do we assume she?
No, maybe they manipulated her.
Yeah, I don't know. And then remember that one story? It was a teacher who got pregnant by her student, and like now they're like married or something like that.
Yeah. She like hid the baby or something.
Yeah. And
that's what I'm saying. You're hearing it more and more and more.
Yeah. I know. There was always those creeper teachers that when I was like, there was a couple or substitutes. We had
substitutes.
We had a couple substitutes that were too much like they wanted to be part. They wanted to be cool almost, like yeah.
Like when you heard they were subbing that day, you're like, yeah, they were getting
yeah. And they'd hang out with they'd hang out with them after school or this or that or whatever, and just because once again, a lot of times it was because even with you just need a degree to substitute, I think, or something, right? Or something along those lines.
College credits or something.
Yeah, some kind of credit.
And I actually do remember a substitute from our school, male.
Yeah.
Back when we were younger.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the story's real. That was caught with a student in the car.
All right.
Could have been.
Yeah.
I heard the same story that he was caught with another teacher in the car. So
yeah.
God knows, people make up stuff as well, but you see it more and more in the news now, and it's just why couldn't it happen to us?
And it's like once again we're going back to it is I guess different though.
100% different.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things different between men and women. It sucks, but and I'll even go off topic, but maybe it's probably off topic. I saw a picture which kind of drove me a little crazy. This kid won. I think he was on the track team.
Okay.
And when he was 12, he came in like first place, or he was a freshman, and he came in like first place in like a Division I competition with, and then he decided he wanted to be a woman. And 2 years later, he won the same competition, but on the women's side.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you saw that? And it's like, he looks exactly the same, except with long hair, and he's standing there with all the other women.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but...
They're cracking down on that stuff now. They are cracking...
Trump is,
it's... which I have regard... I don't... let's put the political stuff aside. Is it right to... you get a young... thriving female athlete that has been working her ass off her whole freaking life to say win the championship or do whatever, or to get further or and she worked so hard for it, and then you get a guy who, I mean, that's just how testosterone works. Mm-hmm. Naturally is stronger. Naturally, can be dominate certain things just because of their hormones or whatever, and they come in and they beat this girl or whatever, in a sport or, who knows what, it could be any sport really, and because of them, it just crushes their hopes and dreams.
And the only reason I bring that up, because it's the case of, is it okay for a man or woman, blah, 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 because you don't hear that on the female side. A female joining a men's sport and being dominating. You hear it when a guy refers to a girl and then go on their sport and they dominate. It's...
Well, remember, who was it that... It was like the boxing match and...
Oh, yeah. That was... Right? That was a dude... That was,
she was
gigantic. Yeah. Shim was gigantic.
Yeah. And like...
That was in the Olympics.
Yeah, and they
were like...
I think it was an Italian woman that had to fight, and she was crying.
She wouldn't fight. She's like, I'm not fighting this guy.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing.
She had to give up her spot. Yeah,
yeah. And wasn't there something with volleyball too? Like there was.
And you hear it all the time.
They were forfeiting because of it.
The swimmer.
Oh God. It's. I don't know, and
I'm not saying it doesn't happen where a guy becomes a girl and then they join the women's sport, because No, opposite. A girl becomes a guy and join. You don't hear that as much. I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
But you don't hear it.
We used to see it a lot more often. We saw it all the time growing up. That's because in our town, they didn't offer female soccer or female, back in the day, back in the 80s. They didn't have girls soccer.
Right.
They didn't have
Everything
girls.
was co-ed, yeah.
Everything was co-ed. If you were a girl and wanted to play the sport, you had to play with the guys.
Play with the guys.
And some of them were really good, actually.
Yeah.
We had some really good players.
Well, I mean, I'll go to a story from our town years ago. A girl joined one of our football teams in town.
Yeah.
And they won a big game. And the kids, guys and their testosterone and crazy started doing crazy things and like the pants in each other or doing and not realizing everybody has their helmet on and their pads, you
Yeah.
and now it's a girl. Now you just fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm sorry. You can be part of the team. You can be part of the team. The guys start going crazy and doing stupid things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was right.
That was in our town, you said? Or?
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
No, you can tell me after.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was almost an oopsie.
Yeah.
It was like, I didn't know that was you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Helmets, pads, blah, blah, blah.
A lot's changed with that in general, I think, though. Back in the day, there was a lot more, what's the word, fraternizing or whatever? I don't know what the
Fraternizing? Fraternizing with the help?
No, I don't know. More banter, more stupid play with, and stuff with you. But I don't know if that's still the case nowadays.
I mean, you get in real trouble. You get in real trouble now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you'd laugh it off.
Yeah.
Right now, no, that's...
Yeah. Oh, God. I remember, all the time.
Right?
When I was playing sports. I used to...
always petting each other in the nuts.
Yeah, it was...
stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember.
You get the wrong kid to slap him in the nuts, you're
Yeah.
getting sued. You're crazy.
Yeah, things have definitely. Hey, I'm not, trust me, I'm fine with the change because I was never a fan of it. But yes, or there was that. I think it was a swimmer, that male swimmer you were talking about. He didn't do the full, change, and he was in the women's locker room, and he's got his schlong hanging out, and these, they're like, I don't feel comfortable having to see this right now,
Which is why I don't like mixed.
Isn't that indecent? That's indecent exposure. I think it should be a crime. Be honest with you, just like any indecent exposure is. Someone unwillingly needs to see something
I mean, go back to like Police Academy, the first one. Remember, the guy he dressed up like a girl just to get into the women's shower.
Yeah.
Or Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
They dressed up as women so they can go to the all women's, freaking,
Mm-hmm.
like. There's sickos that do shit like that.
Yeah.
Whether you're legally feel like you want to transition or whatever, there's just psychos that are like gonna put on a Norman Bates wig and dress and just to see naked girls.
Well, that's the thing too. Like with this swimmer, all right. You're the one that's making things uncomfortable. You're the one that's doing all this. At least put in the effort. If you want to really be part of this team, at least put in the effort to. Maybe
tuck that shit.
Well, no, just go somewhere out of the way. Go to the restroom and change.
Right.
Go, don't be in the public setting because it's almost like you are making it worse for yourself.
I think that's what started the whole craziness of it because they did not want to be in the same locker room and dress when that person was in there, and they were like, no, like we're done. We're not doing it.
Yeah, I know.
And that was my point, was just to tie that in where like sometimes it's different story between like a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
It's different when a guy's in you get a girl transitioning to a guy, but she still has her female part. She comes to the guy's locker room. The guy's let's go.
Depends. There's some butchy ones out there.
But you know what I mean? Like, all right, at a concert, right? And the line's long at the bathroom. How many times we have a girl come into the guys' room and we're like, yes, let's go. Go in the bathroom. Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
But if you had to piss and you had to go into the girls' room, dude, security would drag your ass out of there so fast.
Although in college, it was very common for everyone to share the bathrooms. But I remember I never purposely went into the women's bathroom at all.
Sure.
But the women would go into the guys' room sometimes or whatever, I wasn't paying attention one time, and I went into not knowing, I went into the women's room. I did a number 2 in there. not knowing. I had no clue. I just, I thought it was. I don't know where my head was at. And then I was done. I go to wash my hands, and then a woman walked up and washed her hands, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And then I looked at the door. I was like, "Oh shoot!" I totally walked into the wrong bathroom, not realizing it.
I mean, so it happened to me twice.
Yeah.
I think when I was with you,
Yeah.
we were at the airport, and I walked into the women's room by accident.
Oh.
But I saw them all in there, and I was like, "Oops!" And I
Yeah.
turned around and walked out.
Yeah.
When my last trip at the airport, a lady came in.
Yeah.
And she went into the stall, like all nonchalant, went into the stall. And then you just hear her like, "Oh my God." And she got out.
Yeah.
And she realized that there was like men's feet next to her, because there was a line of stall. And she's like, "I'm so sorry." And me, I'm like, "Don't bother me. Go into do whatever you want.
So-
Pee in the freaking urinal. I don't care."
In New York City, I've been to places that it's unisex bathroom. Where,
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of places that
sometimes
it's just a bathroom.
if I recall, I think there was actually like just private stalls. But I might be confused though. There was definitely a combined sink area.
Okay.
So, and I'm trying to remember if it was a combined stall area. It was a while ago because it was when I was first dating my wife, and we were cracking up because we both went to use the bathroom and we were washing our hands
Same
together.
time?
Yeah. It was.
I guess as long as there's no urinal and it's just stalls, I don't see why there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of embarrassing though if you're a dude and say like you just went on your first date and you had to drop a big one, and they went too, and you're like stinking it up and stuff. I guess that can make it tough. But
Yeah.
I like bathrooms that have the door that goes all the way down to the
Yeah,
floor.
same. So you don't see.
What is with that? Why do they do that? Why do they always cut it off? I guess
I don't know. So you can escape if the door gets locked? I have no idea.
I have no idea. It's so weird. Like, why do they have to have? It's like your poor legs are shamed, And I don't like that you could see through that crack.
Oh, same. There's always that much space.
Yes, and you could see the person, and you're
Yeah.
like, can they? Are they looking at me? Or can they see me now?
And then you got my job where if I go to the urinal and somebody's in the urinal's in a corner and the stall's right next to it, and there's that much space between the wall and the stall wall.
Yeah.
You can see the reflection of the person, so you see them like fucking wiping around, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. Like, why can't that go all the way to the wall?
I always judge a person if you're in a bathroom and you're on that. Say it's a 3-stall urinal, three different sections, and you're on either the far right or the far left.
Right next to you.
Yes, I always judge the person that goes right in the middle when they have that right one or left one available.
I'll stop. I'll be like, now I can't even go. Thank you, sir. And I'll zip up and I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah, well,
Because I do. I have a hard time going if there's other people in the room.
It depends how much I drink. Yeah. If I'm
it's just gonna come out.
Yeah. Yes. So back to what we were originally saying about the teacher and everything. I mean, it's still kind of a fairly new story, so I don't know what's it's gonna amount to with that.
But it's a double standard.
Why the scream masks though? Why?
That's hot. I don't know.
Some eyes wide shut shit going on there, man.
Kill me. Pretend you're stabbing me.
Yeah, like you got the mask on. Like I feel like it probably was like a fantasy at first. Just here, wear the scream mask.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe they were ugly and she didn't want to see their faces.
Or maybe that's part of it too. Maybe she wanted plausible deniability or something like that, where she says, "I didn't know they were teenagers.
Yeah.
I didn't see their faces.
Yeah.
I just they came over and I just said this.
I left the scream mask on the porch, so I didn't want to know who was coming.
Yes,
I didn't know it was
I thought I was reaching out to the swingers group. I did not know they were wearing masks. I had no idea. So I wonder if she did that on purpose. Who knows?
So now we have to have like the sit down with our children. If the teacher ever asks you to wear a scream mask, you say no.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish this up. Good stuff. Bulleit Bourbon, Bottle and Bonds. We like what you did. Keep doing it. We're looking forward to some of your newer stuff that you've come out from the distillery.
Yeah.
Although we do like Four Roses a lot. So we're not opposed to any of that stuff that you've done in the past. But this is pretty cool that you guys did this.
Same.
Shout out to you, John.
To you.
It's always
To
nice.
the Yankees. Let's go, Yankees.
I guess if I was a baseball fan, I probably would be because most of my friends are Yankee and I've been to mostly Yankee games. Actually,
you go to a lot of Somerset Patriot games. That's the Yankees.
I
know.
I know.
Go.
Yeah, we go every year to Somerset Patriots.
Yeah, maybe next time you go.
So I saw Volpe for the first time.
It's my boy.
Yeah, he's looking all right, huh?
Hit a home run today.
Oh yeah, Good for him. Good for him. All right, good stuff, guys. Thanks for watching. John, cheers to you.
Cheers to you, brother.
Cheers to you.
Peace.
All right.